How's it going tonight, guys? What's the Sitch back, bringing you another video on the channel. And today we got something that's way different than anything else we've posted so far, okay? We have the first episode of Storytime with Sitch posted to the channel. Storytime with Sitch is a podcast of mine that I do on stream that I'm going to start growing and getting episodes out semi-regularly and posting them right here on the YouTube channel. The first episode of Storytime with Sitch is all about how I got into streaming, why I stream, and why I put the effort in that I do, my love behind it all. Right? If you like the video and you share this passion with me, I want you to do a couple things for me. Drop a like, share it with a friend who feels the same love as we do. Drop a comment down below because I will answer and I will look for it. And last but not least, guys, have a good rest of your week, and I will see you guys on Twitch. Yeah, I do. All right. Yeah, you know what? Let's do a first story time with Sitch. All right. This is a good idea. Let's do it. Let's do my first little story time with Sitch, right? And it's going to be the reason I'm streaming, how I got into it, and what led me to pursue this. Check this out. So, like I said, I didn't grow up a gamer. I didn't. I grew up playing baseball. I grew up playing basketball. I grew up as a kid who could seriously never sit still. I still have trouble sitting still now. If you see, like, y'all can't see below my waist, but like my foot's always going. I'm always tapping. I usually have a vape next to me, and I'm hitting that just to kind of I'm always doing something. You know what I mean? It's really hard for me to sit still. I don't like to sit still. It's one of the reasons I love working in an outside blue collar industry, because you never sit still. If I was stuck behind a fucking desk for 40 hours a week, homie, no, fuck no. I couldn't fucking do it. No shot. Right? And to be fair, my parents didn't like me playing mature rated M games as a kid. You know, I grew up with, my parents were strict to a degree. I didn't really start finding ways around it until I was a teenager, and that's also when I stopped giving a shit as well. Modern Warfare 2 was the first Call of Duty I played, but I was not allowed to have Xbox Live. You know what? Actually, if you go back and you listen to those Modern Warfare 2 lobbies, kind of makes sense why my parents didn't let me get into those games. Either way, but I loved the campaign of Modern Warfare 2. I really did. That was the first game I ever sat down for like 6 hours straight and played. You know, and I played the campaign for Modern Warfare 2 over and over and over again. That knife throw at the end, you pull the knife out of your own body and you throw it into the guy's eye. Like, I'll never forget it. I was a teenager. I'll never forget it. And then, like a lot of kids did, like a lot of shit that happened back then, my Xbox caught the deadly red ring of death, and it killed it. And yeah, I was mad, but I wasn't mad enough really to do anything about it. I never asked for another Xbox for Christmas. I never like saved up my own money for it. Like, never. Like, I just lost it. I ended up just playing baseball most of the year round. And then when I was a sophomore in high school, I'll never forget this moment. Right. My mom is a professional assistant for a CEO of a software company, right? And when I was a sophomore in high school, the CEO she works for now, he was VP of a different company. And she worked with this guy. I can't remember his name I can't remember his name. But I owe this guy a huge thank you, because I'm sitting in first period and my phone vibrates. I pull out my phone like I'm not supposed to do, check my text messages, and it's a picture from my mom. And it was a gift bag, and inside the gift bag was the limited edition Modern Warfare 2 edition Xbox. Came with the black controller, the console, and the game. And I lost my mind. I was like, there is no way he just gave this to you. He's like, because the text said, "You owe my coworker a huge thank you." And I'm like, my response back was, "Is that what I think it is?" She goes, "Yeah, it is. Here's his number. Call him after school today and thank him." I'm like, "Yes, ma'am." Like, you got it. You know what I mean? So now I had been deprived of video games for so long. Not that it was really bothering me, but I didn't realize how much that void was gone until I hooked up that Xbox and I heard that, like, the noise again. I popped the game in, and here's the funny thing: I played that game all night, all fucking night long. Still wasn't allowed to get live though. Kind of sucks. Fast forward to Modern Warfare 3. I played that live. And let me tell you, I was garbage at Modern Warfare 3 and Black Ops 2 online. I remember it taking like 6 months to gold the MTAR in Black Ops 2. You know what I mean? Like, I was so bad at it. And then I go to the military, and that's when my spark really does first hit, because I meet Ty every single day after work. We would get Domino's and beer sit in his barracks room from like 5:30 till like midnight, taking turns playing Call of Duty Black Ops 2. So that was really like my first spark into it. And then his roommate tanked his KD, and then it all went to hell from there. Sorry, Ty. That's still, I know that memory really does just hurt. It was still such pain. That was so much time wasted. And then, you know, I got out of the Army at 21, and my Xbox at the time, probably 3-4 years straight, all I used it for was Netflix. Didn't have the urge. Advanced Warfare pissed me off. I wasn't going to play futuristic Call of Duty. I just wasn't going to do it. I didn't even know there was an audience for this kind of shit to begin with. I really didn't. I had no idea. And then one night, about 3 years ago, on the new Modern Warfare, on the remastered Modern Warfare, right? I'm playing Shoot House, running around with an M4, and somehow I couldn't tell you how, but I clipped something that I did, and game over. That it was like something inside me just got unlocked, and I started clipping everything. Started making little things here and there. Started making my own little edits on the Xbox. Staying up till 5 in the morning, just making little stupid ass things. You can probably find some of them on my old YouTube. If I come across it, I'll post it on Twitter. Cause I wish I could show you one of the first videos I ever made. Oh man! But then it turned into streaming, right? I wanted to, so I hit up my boy who had been doing it for a couple years. He gave me all the advice I needed. I did the research behind it, and I started on Mixer. Mixer sucks. Did that for, what? I don't know, 2 months? Figured I was done. Figured I would never do it again. Until I built my setup a little bit more. I got a computer, and I learned how to set the Xbox up to it, and I caught the streaming bug. And I loved it. I still do love it. But I was too gung-ho early on. And I can openly admit that now. That's why I took 9 months off. I took 9 months off because what I was doing last year was while I was trying to create something here in streaming, I was tearing apart my relationship on the outside. Tearing apart. And twisting up my own thoughts into what was more important. Something that's going to take time to grow, or the woman that I decided to marry. And it really fucked me up for a while. Like a long time. It really fucked me up. To kind of close this first one off, my love for streaming is still here. I love this shit. I wouldn't do this 3 times a week if I didn't do it. It's just I have my priorities straight. And that's what I was lacking last year. I finally was able to, in the 9 months that I stepped away, I've taken the time to figure out what's really important, like what is important now and what is important in the next 5 years and the next 10 years as well. And this is what I have come to terms with for myself, right? This to me is a part-time gig, right? It is a part-time gig that I do because I love. Honest to God, I could stop tomorrow and just kind of put this in the back pocket and say it's probably not going to happen, right? I wouldn't do this, and I wouldn't be putting the effort that I have been putting into this if I didn't love it. It just has to be effort that I just need to make sure I have enough effort for everything else I have going on as well in my life. You know, my full-time job, my relationship. And if I got to miss you guys a week, sorry. You guys are going to take a back seat right now. Chat and the stream will take a back seat if those two things that I just mentioned are taking the first slot, whether it's work or Amy or whatever. That's what I was lacking last year, and that's what I have found. That as bad as I want this to grow, it is not gonna happen in a year. It is not gonna happen in 2 years. It is going to grow slowly and gradually. It's just how it's gonna happen. The more I learn, the more y'all learn about me, the more fun we can have, and the more we'll grow. And the more content we put out, the more people will find us. Trust me, this family will grow. I have no doubt about that. With Ty editing and the team that we have, we're all going to grow together. You're going to grow with me as a streamer, and I'm going to grow with you guys as a family. We will be a family. This is a family of misfits, and because I'm a misfit, I'm a degenerate. I didn't fit in anywhere. You know, when I was in high school, like every high school, there were cliques, right? And I didn't fit into any of them, but I was friends with people from all of them. And that got me hated on. I'm like, how are you hating on me for just being friends with people? You have nothing better to do in your life? Is your life that sad that the only way that to make yourself feel better is to shit on somebody who has friends from everywhere when you have like 3 from one group? To be fair, if I had this thinking 10 years ago, my high school would have been so much easier. Okay, that's a good little story time with Sitch. So let's close that off now. I'm gonna go smoke. We'll get Levi back on Xbox, and we'll go back to Fortnite. I'm stoked on that too.